Picture the Western Front at dawn, where the acrid stench of cordite mingles with mud and decay. Through the morning mist, a figure moves, not a soldier, but a messenger dog, its coat matted with trench filth, racing across no man's land with a canister strapped to its collar. This is the untold story of warfare's most unlikely heroes, creatures who possessed neither understanding of borders nor hatred of enemies, yet displayed courage that would shame many who wore uniforms. In the crucible of the Great War, animals became more than companions or tools. They became brothers in arms, their survival instincts and loyalty forging a bond with soldiers that honestly transcended species. Their stories reveal not just extraordinary acts of bravery, but essential fieldcraft lessons about adaptation, trust, and the raw will to survive when civilization collapses into chaos. When gas clouds rolled across shattered landscapes like malevolent fog, it was dogs who gave the first warning, trained to detect the subtle shift in air quality that preceded chemical death. These canines operated as living alarm systems in an era when technology failed more often than it succeeded. Sergeant Stubby, a bull-terrier mix discovered on a Connecticut training field, learned to recognize the hiss of incoming artillery shells before human ears could register the sound. His fieldcraft was instinctual yet refined through harsh experience. He would flatten himself against trench walls milliseconds before impact, a survival technique soldiers quickly learned to mimic. The bond between man and dog in these conditions wasn't sentimentality, it was tactical necessity. Dogs navigated the treacherous maze of barbed wire and shell craters with night vision and scent tracking abilities that made them invaluable scouts, teaching soldiers that sometimes the most advanced reconnaissance tool walks on 4 legs and, well, requires only scraps of rations as payment. In terrain where motorized vehicles sank axle-deep into glutinous mud, horses and mules became the circulatory system of warfare, pumping supplies forward through arterial communication trenches while shells churned the earth around them. Sergeant Reckless embodied the ultimate fieldcraft principle, adaptability under fire. This Mongolian mare didn't just carry ammunition, she memorized supply routes, learning to navigate independently between depots and firing positions during the Korean War. The soldiers who worked with these animals developed an intimate understanding of load distribution, weather reading, and terrain assessment that, to be honest, modern preppers would recognize as essential bushcraft. They learned to read an animal's body language as a barometer for danger, understanding that a horse's ears pinned back or a mule's sudden stillness often preceded enemy movement that human senses hadn't yet detected. When radio operators lay dead and telephone wires were shredded by shellfire, commanders turned to an ancient communication system refined by desperate necessity. Homing pigeons like Cher Ami represented the biological backup plan, a lesson in redundancy that every survivalist understands. Released from forward positions while bleeding from shrapnel wounds, these birds applied navigation techniques that humans still don't fully comprehend. Using magnetic fields, landmarks, and perhaps even infrasound to find their way home through smoke, gas, and the chaos of industrial warfare. Soldiers learned to protect these feathered couriers as zealously as ammunition, understanding that information often mattered more than firepower. These animal warriors teach us that survival isn't about individual superiority, but about recognizing the strengths in unlikely partnerships. Their stories remind us that in the field, whether battlefield or wilderness. Adaptability, loyalty, and the willingness to trust beyond our own limitations often determine who makes it home. Subscribe to Fieldcraft Chronicles and, share this testament to courage with those who understand that history's greatest survival lessons come from the most unexpected teachers.